I've got to start off with a couple of apologies. Firstly, apology from me for 5 years ago not making it. Still a pretty good excuse, I reckon, as they go. But yeah, and in case you thought I was going to speak about the shark attack, guess we were at different schools together. You better get out of here. But yeah, that's not going to happen because a lot of people came to visit me. Thanks, many of them here. Thanks very much to them. And they got the full story. And also, this story has the least effect on spoiled rich kids, which I think obviously this room is the greatest example, if not second, to class of 76 across the road. Second apology to Neil Ross, because my speech is already longer than his classic speech 10 years ago, probably the best OD speech of all time. Yeah, so sorry about that, Neil. Longer than yours is not as funny, but I hope you'll enjoy parts of this one. Okay, so we're going to start off with a little story featuring Peter Todd, who I think you guys remember, believe, head of school, something like that. Anyway, Peter, we didn't really keep in contact and then super close contact with him, but I did see him on TV handing one of those big checks across in the rugby game. You know, after the game they have that guy handing over the check. So I guess Peter obviously did that pretty well, because he soon after that was offered up to head up an insurance company. And just any of you farmers or in honest business obviously know insurance companies, they basically just charge you 2 or 3 times what you can ever cost them and pocket a huge wad of cash. So obviously what this basically is a serious criminal operation. Now, Peter was a pretty straight arrow at school, as I recall, you know. So he obviously thought, you know, he needs to get some people in to help him. And obviously criminals, you can't just pick up criminals like in your hotel, like Shireen Devani. Obviously, you know, he could tell you how badly that worked out. But if you've actually grown up with these guys for 5 years at high school, then, you know, you probably know them a bit better. And of course, in the class of 86, Peter was spoiled for choice. So, you know, I don't want people from Grey House coming up and saying, you know, we stole 2 fizzy bars from a tuck shop. We're just giving some examples here. I don't worry about that. But founders, we had Derek and John Cranswick, who, as everyone knows, broke into the tuck shop. But Peter, you know, when they were spotted, you know, they broke into the tuck shop, okay, they stole a case of appetizer, Coke, whatever, something like that. But I remember seeing Derek walking down the wing with a big grin on his face with a whole case of Coke in his hand. So, you know, not discreet, you know, that is criminality obviously, but, you know, not really what Peter was looking for. So then there was a far more, in a higher league, I think, in White House. And 2 of the people there, Ivan Attlie and Neil Ross. And most of their stories I can't even tell you even now because they got away with them and no one knows about them, and yeah, we don't even want to go there. But so
Ivan Attlie.
Ivan Attlie, yes, okay. So Ivan, obviously he did some stuff and we can't talk about that, but luckily one of my favorite publications, Noseweek, has got an article coming out very shortly, and I can't tell you too many details about this, obviously, but, you know, and I'm not saying that this was Ivan, but I'm just saying if I was Ivan, this is the kind of story I would have told. So obviously, you know, back in the 80s, a big transaction was the financial and commercial rand. Very easy trade, people made a fortune doing it. And the way I understand it is that the good thing about it is they used the OD Union bank account as the wash fund, yeah, which was a particularly good move. But then I think what we technically call a timing difference, I guess maybe Ivan had left school and so they left a whole lot of money in there. And if you were paying attention, they had a thing from the OD Union that said they'd saved up the money for the mitre across the road by just getting all that interest. But now I don't know, maybe I'm not allowed to go there tomorrow night, but maybe if you look, maybe there should be a plaque for Ivan, you know, thanking him for donating that. Or I don't know, the other people, you know, a lot of other people involved wasn't just him. Yeah, anyway, so, okay, second story. When I was in my first or second year at school, I think, I went to Crack's house, and his old man said to me, he said, Appie, do you know that Bishop's has got the highest number of white-collar criminals out of any other school? And of course, I was shocked. I didn't Google it because we didn't have Google then, but I did some research, and yeah, he was right. So I thought, jeez. So anyway, before I lost my leg, I used to play tennis at Wynberg Tennis Club, and the one night I was saying exactly that. You know, Bishop's had the most white-collar criminals. And this old Rondebosch guy was walking behind me, and just as I said that, he just said, yeah, but Rondebosch has more serial killers. And I was taken aback, you know what I mean? For me, and I'm still not sure when that's maybe a good debate topic, you know, which is contributing more to society. Yeah, I don't know, it could be a close one. Yeah, so obviously, the reason for that too wasted. Yeah, what is that story about then?
Serial killers.
Serial killers, yeah. Okay. So which is the best? Yeah, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because our year has contributed to that finally. Anton Portgieter, I believe, is to thank for that. And he's shaking his head. You know all the white-collar criminals, they always, no, it wasn't me. But thanks for that, Anton. Anyway, so my final story. Derek Roberts, who I'm sure you remember, his son went to the school and played cricket. Did quite a bit of a higher team than Derek, as I recall. But anyway, after Justin, he got out. I don't know, obviously thought he played a bad shot, and he said, "Fuck," or something like that. You know, I don't know the details. So he had to go and see the BSU. And I thought, you know, I like these initial things. I like to try and think what they could be. And I thought, Briggs, sex, usury. But you know, surely we're supposed to at least pretend to be saying no to that stuff. You know, it doesn't really work. Yeah, I thought, you're not supposed to be giving him a franchise opportunity, you know? It's supposed to be, but then I thought about Lenny Kaplan. And from what I hear, very reliable sources, that guy rubbed and tugged his way through Schoolhouse for the best part of 2 decades before even anyone raised an eyebrow. So, yeah, I don't know, eventually, you know, I could see this probably wasn't working out. And then, yeah, because I thought, how does forcing a preteen to suck your dick help you not swear when you go out of cricket? So I couldn't work this out. I said to Derek, look, what does BSU stand for? He says, Bishop's Support Unit. I mean, how close was I? So, Bishop's Support Unit, obviously, if you remember in our day, was a cane, and maybe 7 canes. I don't know how many of those we used, but I tell you what, the Bishop's Support Unit, obviously there's a group of psychiatrists, psychologists, whatever, talk to these kids. I reckon 1 hour of the Bishop's Support Unit probably paid for all the canes that we ever used in the 140 years before that. Thank you very much. Hope you've enjoyed it. Have a good evening, guys.
Appie, well done. That was awesome. And I can tell you one thing, you're very